Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to At the Table with Pure, our podcast where we share with women in business partnership, those who are desiring to be in business partnership, really what it looks like to be a woman in business and the things, the tools, the techniques, the strategies needed to be successful in business. And I'm your host, Stephanie Outen, and here with my partner, my compadre, Ereka Thomas. And we're just excited to be here today with another amazing guest that has come to talk to us today all about what it means to be well, what it means to care for yourself, be fully involved in your self care process. And we're just going to let her share all about what it is that she does. So, everyone, welcome Alex Barlowe to At the Table with Pure. Welcome, Alex. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited and honored to be here.
Excellent, excellent. Well, tell us, Alex, a little bit about what you do as an integrative nutrition coach.
Yes. So, as a health coach, what I do is really help my clients become the best version of themselves. What I do is simply provide a helping hand, conduit of support and information, and more than anything is positive energy. People that come to me are ready to make a change. Usually it's weight loss, that's the most common thing, but I also work with people who just want to learn how to eat better. They may not necessarily have a specific pound goal that they want to lose, but they want to eat better. They want to feel better. They want to have more energy. And they come to me and I help them. What I have found is that we all deep down know what we need to do to be the better version of ourselves. We know the things that we need to change or the things we need to implement. And I'm just there to help you really get centered and figure that out and then implement it. So that's what I do as a health coach.
I love that. I love that. When you talked about not necessarily having a goal from a pounds perspective, but just really knowing how to just eat right and ensure that you're putting the right things in your body to take care of yourself. So I'm like, "Ooh, sign me up," because I know I'm not.
Well, the truth is a lot of us struggle with it. I don't eat 100% perfect all the time. I make better choices than I did a year or 2 years ago, but I'm all about progress over perfection. So that's something we all struggle with, really.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Good.
Yeah, I love that. My pastor always says that progress over perfection.
It's
Mm-hmm.
true.
That's
Mhm.
right.
What when you say is it integrative or intuitive or
Integrated.
integrative?
Integrative. Yes. And what that means is just it's integrating holistic wellness. So that's why I said it's not just about losing weight. It's not just about, oh, I want to get toned or get buff. You may come to me thinking that's what it's about, and that may start out being what it's about. But once you get into my process and really start to work with me, you realize that's just the tip of the iceberg. So integrative is integrating the entire holistic person. So that's what it means when I say integrative nutrition health coach.
Well, how did you get to this place? Like I'm sure you were at one place and then you got to this place. How did you get here?
I did. So it's been a very long journey, but specifically to answer your question, I got to this place during quarantine. I am someone who struggled with depression and anxiety for most of my life, most of my adult life. And so it reached an all-time high during quarantine, which a lot of people struggled with that. But I have always been fit. I've always been somewhat active. I've always had a gym membership somewhere, but I never really ate well. And as got older, pounds just kind of started creeping up. And then after I had my daughter, it really just got out of control, ballooned out of control. I got up to 235. I'm 5'6". So I was considered obese, health problems, depression, all of that. But during quarantine, I said, you know what? We are literally stuck in the house because we were one of the people that hunkered down hot and heavy. We barely went to the grocery store. Like we really were in the house. So I was like, stuck in the house. We're going to take this time. I'm going to take this time to focus on my health. So I'm like, we're going to go on a treadmill and I'm just going to run every day. I'm going to walk every day and run every day until I can get to this point where I'm feeling better. So slowly but surely, I started to lose weight. And when I had hit about 45 pounds, I said, you know what? I want to work out with a personal trainer. because I've come this far, but I don't want to hit a plateau. Like I said, I've been an athlete before, so I know when you're trying to lose weight, plateau is a very real thing. So I wanted to beat my plateau. So I was like, I want to work out with a personal trainer and I want to find a nutritionist to finally figure out how to eat well. So I started working out with a personal trainer, started working with a nutritionist, and then that helped me get to the last 25 pounds to hit my goal of losing 65 pounds. So that's how I got here. And in working with a nutritionist and a trainer, that support really helped get me to that finish line. And it made me realize that that's what I want to do for other people as well. So, yeah.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah. Thank you.
You talk about, or well, we hear a lot, Alex, about securing our mask first, right? And how we have to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves first before we can take care of others. And so when you think about that, especially even in your own home, you have your husband, you have your daughter, and this was a journey that you had to undertake for yourself. But how did that impact your household as well when you decided, I'm going to make these changes for Alex so that it can then transform my household?
It transformed my household in a way that I can't even begin to describe. My husband started taking notice and he's just like, oh, babe, like you really are doing it. He's like, man, I'm not surprised. Like, I know you're determined, but like to actually see you do it, it's like, wow, you really did that. And he's like, if you would have told me, we celebrate 10 years in September. He's like, if you would have told me that you were going to end up being a personal trainer, he's like, I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm happy for you to see the growth, to see you falling in love with fitness. Like it definitely made a big difference. And then of course it always benefits your kids to see you being the happiest, best version of yourself as well. So I would say it's definitely improved and enhanced my household, my marriage, my relationship with my daughter. I'm in a better mood. My energy is better. So it by default, it's going to cause a ripple effect. So all of my relationships are better. My creativity, my energy with my business, with my coaching clients is better. It affects every aspect of your life, 100%.
That is like, oh my gosh, that's just beautiful. So, Alex, when you think of the different types of people, because we're talking about securing your mask first and how important it is to, even in business, whether you're in partnership, whether it's just life in general, when we as women, a lot of times we focus externally on the other people and we're looking to make sure everything is okay. But like you just described, making sure that you are in alignment affected every area of your life and the people in your life. Now, there are some people, and I'm just going to speak from my perspective, who have been on a roller coaster of a ride where there's ups and downs. I've done it, I put it back on. I've ate healthy, I stopped eating healthy. Like they've been on this roller coaster ride. What do you say to those types of people that may listen to you and say, "Oh, well, she was the athlete, so that's just embedded in her." Because truthfully, God has a desire for all of us to be at a place of wholeness because that's a reflection of who He is. So, what do you say to those different types of women, women who may not have had the background of being an athlete? There's something else that may be going on underneath that's keeping them from being consistent in that thing. So, what are some of the things you share with your clients?
So I would say to that woman, I would say, I am also that woman too. So I played sports and was involved in sports from age 7 up to age 14. So when I was in high school, I went through my little I'm too cute to sweat phase and I stopped playing sports. So yes, I do have an athletic background, but I was not a practicing athlete for years. So I can relate to that woman too. And I also have gone on and off the wagon several times. That's why when we first got started, as I said, I've been on this journey for a long time, a very long time. I've only just now gotten to this place in the last year, but this has been a lifelong thing. I've always struggled with my weight. Even when I was an athlete, I was always a little bit bigger. So I would tell them, don't look at me as, oh, she's got that. Like, no, I struggled too. I didn't grow up eating well. We had the standard American diet in my household. Everyone in my family is obese. So I would say I'm that person too. And that's why if I can decide to make the change, anybody can. I think what it took for me to finally get to this place where I'm now is to be tired of how I felt before. And sometimes you might want something, or you might be like, oh, I wish I could lose this weight, but you just might not be ready yet. You might have the desire, but maybe you're not disciplined enough yet. Or maybe, just to keep it real, maybe you haven't gotten tired enough yet. I wasn't tired enough yet 5 years ago. I also had a lot of other things in play as far as struggling with mental health, postpartum depression, focusing on my daughter. I stayed home to raise my daughter. So she was my priority. And she needed to be my priority. When they're that small, mama is everything. So I would just say be patient with yourself. And I don't care how many times you fall off the wagon, always get back on. If you have to start over 100 times, I don't care. Do it all 99, 100 times, because eventually it will click. Eventually you will get to that point where you're like, you know what? I am sick of this. I got to that point. I was like, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of wearing black all the time. I'm sick of hiding from mirrors. That's not who I am. And I believe we all get to that point at different times in our lives. But we gonna get there. We gonna get there. So that's what I would tell. I would tell that woman. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. So in your journey, when you got to that place of like, that's it, right? Something has got to give. And you talked about in previous seasons where there was so much going on that it really couldn't be a focus. So what are some of the things or techniques or ideas that you would share with someone on how to really fit that in and prioritize that, hey, I need to make sure that I'm taken care of, that I'm good, because that's going to affect what I'm doing with everybody else and how my life affects other people.
Yes. Yes. I would say find a way to knock down your barriers or eliminate your excuses. Like, for example, I always had the excuse, I'm too tired. But like, okay, so that what you're really saying is you don't want it that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can always find energy for something that's a priority to you. You make time for what's important to you. You might have to get up a little earlier, you might have to stay up a little later, but like, find a way. There's always a solution. The solution may not look the way you want, or it may not feel ideal. You might have to, I don't know, take your kiddo to the gym with you. I don't always like when I go to the gym, that's my me time. I don't want to bring my daughter with me. Like that's what you know what I'm saying? That's why I try to focus on me. But if you have to take her to the gym with you, or take him or her to the gym with you, if that's a barrier or an excuse to keep you from working out, saddle them up, put them in the car. You got to take them with you. So I would say you have to find, when you lose your excuses, you will find your results. You have to find a barrier or find a way to knock down barriers. And there's always a way to get it done. Maybe you don't have a gym membership, work out at home. You can walk. Walking is exercise, and walking is wonderful for you, wonderful for your cardiovascular health, wonderful for your legs, your lower body muscles. Walk, do jumping jacks, do push ups. You can do something, and you can do it just for 5 minutes at a time. So there's always a way to get it done. I help people think outside the box. During quarantine, there was a run on home gym equipment. I don't know if y'all experienced it. I promise you, I tried to order 20-pound dumbbells from Amazon like 5 times, and every time the order was canceled. So you know what I did? I got my Costco water pack, the water bottles from Costco. I don't know if y'all go to Costco. It's a 40 pack of water, like just like this. And I would use that to lift weights. I would be at home doing deadlifts with my pallet of water. And I looked a mess. It was hilarious. But you know what? I got my workout in. There's always a way. There's always a way. So you got to find a way. And if you are somebody who's trying to find a way and you're out of ideas, that's where I come. Get you a water bottle palette. Do something. So cans, laundry detergent. Like there's a way to get it
Yeah.
done.
Ooh, Alex, I want to go back to what you said about when you lose your excuses, you find your results.
Yes,
That was key. And I think that shows up in every aspect of our lives, not just when it
absolutely.
comes to healthcare, but really making sure that we stop all the excuses, remove all the barriers, all the distractions that keep us from doing the things that will allow us to be our very best self, right? And
Yep.
so, yeah, that was a point I had to write down, and we're gonna make sure that we point that out specifically when we share
Yes.
this particular show, because that was something that people really needed to hear. Lose your excuses, find your results.
Yes, that was definitely the case. That was the case for me, when I It's like, you know what? You don't really have any more excuses. Now you just need to execute. But also in that, if you are in the excuse making phase, just know that it's just a phase. Don't be too hard on yourself because that's part of the process too. It's all part of the process. The process isn't linear. It isn't just, oh, I lost weight. Nope. I had a whole bunch of roller coaster rides, ebbs and flows, dips and dives, detours in between there. So you have to embrace and trust the whole process. And part of that is in the decision phase or the excuse phase, you're like, oh, I don't have time. But you're going to get to a point where you're going to find the time because you're going to be tired of feeling that way. You're going to be tired of being in that place and you're going to eventually elevate because you want more, you want better. And when you want more and you want better and you work to get there, you'll get there.
Love it. Love it.
What are some of the other things, other advice you would give as far as really prioritizing and fitting in that self care once you get to that place of saying, hey, there's no more excuses? What else
Mhm.
should people be doing?
I would say plan, definitely plan. We all heard that saying that if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail, right? So you have to plan it, like schedule your exercise. If you are someone who is short on time or you have a demanding schedule, don't just say, oh, I'll go to the gym today. No, you better plan it, put it in your planner, send yourself a calendar invite. If you have an accountability partner, that helps too because you're going to feel bad if you leave your friend hanging out at the gym, hey, I'm too tired today. When your friend is already there, showed up, that kind of helps too. So just plan it, sit down and write out, schedule 30, 45 minutes in your planner, in your daily calendar. Make sure you plan that time. That needs to be just as important as your business meeting. That needs to be just as important as your kid's soccer game. That needs to be just as important as your date night. Like that is a priority on your schedule and it's non-negotiable.
That is good. I do actually put my workouts on my schedule because
Yeah,
I know if I don't, it's not going to get done.
exactly.
And just like we put everything else on our to do list, workouts should definitely be on the to do list because it is a
Yes.
necessary part of keeping the temple in good condition, right? And that's what God says that our body is a temple. And it's not just about the what you put into it, it's what you do to it as well. So making sure that we work out and exercise is essential to that. That's
Yes.
awesome. That's awesome. So when you think about, and specifically what Erica and I talk about is business partnerships, women being in business partnerships, working together, collaborating. In Erica and my case, actually having a legal partnership in our business, Pure Solutions and Consulting. When you have busy schedules individually, but then as a collective, it can be challenging sometimes to think about how do I put myself first? How do I care for myself without the other partner feeling like maybe there's an imbalance, right? So, what are some of the things that you could share for women who are in business or women in business partnerships about making sure that you have a regular wellness cadence, that regular schedule for taking care of yourself?
I think if you can make sure that the way you think about it is conducive to your business. So what I mean when I say that is think about your own self-care and your own wellness practice as part of your business. And the reason why is because that's how you show up your best. And when you're in business in a partnership, you need to show up as your best. That's vital to the success of your business. That's vital to your creativity so that you can generate the best ideas for your business. It's vital to your problem solving. Being in business is about solving problems, right, ladies?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So to show up and be your best self, you can't be coming from an empty cup. You can't be coming from burnout. You just can't. It doesn't, I mean, you can, but it's not gonna be the best, right?
Right.
You're gonna see that impact in your business. If you're a client facing, if you provide a service, you have to show up your best to be able to provide the best possible value to your clients. For me, I think my favorite thing about being a health coach, it forces me. Like when I was working, I mean, I still have a corporate job that I work part-time, but when I was working full-time in corporate America, there wasn't much time for much else. Cause I had to hit those sales, had to be there 10, 12 hours a day. And that was it. That was my life. I could do that. before I had my daughter. I was a little bit younger, so that was the season I was in, but there was not much time for self-care at all. But now as an entrepreneur, that doesn't fly. As a health coach with the type of work that I do with people, so I have to connect with people on a soul level, really. I have to give of myself to be able to help them. I cannot do that burned out. I could work my 9 to 5 burnout because I could figure it out and get my energy drinks and just show up. And I can't do that as a health coach. I really can't. It's a different level of work. So it requires a different level of me that I can just show up with, if that makes sense. So I would say the way to prioritize it is to shift your perspective of it. Don't think of it as a luxury or, oh, it's just something nice and fluffy that I do for myself. No, that's how your business survives because that's how you show up as your best self. So think about that as a priority to the success of your business. And then I think that will kind of help you both in partnership prioritize it. So
That is so good, Alex. And you said even of yourself being a coach, the type of work that you do requires you to give of your own soul because you have to tap into your client's soul as
yes.
well.
Yes.
What are some of the, I guess, strategies or techniques that you can offer to women who are in business that need to better connect with their soul? Because in connecting with your soul, that's when you do see the things that emotionally, physically, spiritually might need to be addressed. So, what would you say to that woman who needs to connect with her soul in order to be able to show up in all the other areas in the way that she's supposed to?
Yep. So I would tell her what works for me is to dive deep into your spirituality, whatever that looks like for you. I am someone who believes that there are a myriad of ways that you can nourish your soul. Some people do it through religion, some people do it through mindfulness practices. It's like working out. Some people working out is their religion. Whatever, tap into your spirituality. Find out what that looks like and what that means to you and dive deep into it. Make it a daily practice. Meditation has been a huge, huge factor for me. Getting in center with myself, getting in center with my intuition, getting it in center has really, really helped me to be able to give of my clients. If it's your prayer life, I believe prayer is very important. Pray, spend time in prayer and meditation. Like you have to really delve into that higher being to be able to give of yourself more. So tap into what your spirit is and nourish that. That's what I would say.
Yeah, that's really powerful. I love how you were saying about even in business and how to regularly add that to the overall success of the business to change the way you think about it. That it's not just some casual thing that you want to incorporate or some nice to have, but it's mandatory. And even as you talked about having to give of yourself, we are a kingdom business and we speak to women who are kingdom women in business. And it's not just a 9 to 5 for us. Like you said, you just don't check out. Like there is something that is required of you from connecting with that person and helping them to get to a certain place. So it is a holistic way of thinking, but I love how you said in terms of making it a priority, it is a part of the business. So self-care is a part of your business plan.
Part of your business model. Yep. Yep. Put it on the schedule, and make sure if you have a staff or a team, make sure they know Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Stephanie and Erica are not available ever because they're practicing their self-care. So no client meetings around that time, no sales pitches around that time, no podcast recordings because we're busy. We're pouring into ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, and make sure your team know. you know, like that's how it has to be a non-negotiable.
That is so good. That is so good. Yeah, I'm taking notes because I always take notes during these interviews, but not just to share back with the listening audience, but to also take in for myself as well. So this has been phenomenal, Alex. We value everything that you have poured into us, everything that you have poured into women in business and women in business partnership. We thank you for connecting with our souls, connecting with the souls of the listeners, and just being able to share from a healthy place
Thank you.
what we need to be doing to care for ourselves and prioritize ourselves and really look at it as a priority in our business to be effective and to be successful in the work that we do. So we honor you for your time today, for your contributions to the show. We just thank you so much, Alex Barlowe, for showing up for us today. Is there anything else that you would want to say in closing to our listening audience?
Well, first of all, thank you, ladies, for having me. This has been a blessing for me too. So, very, very honored and thankful and grateful to both of you. I would just say be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself. We are all in a season of growth and transformation right now. Our society, our world, our nation has changed a lot since COVID. I feel like the conversations that I'm having just with people that I meet, we all are on something different. I feel a sense of oneness now, even with all the chaos and the negativity that we see. We're on something different now as a collective. So we are all growing and transforming at different speeds, but yet together. So if you are in a more difficult place in your journey, embrace yourself, be gentle with yourself. Growth is never linear and it's never easy. And so it's painful sometimes. So just be patient, be gentle with yourself. Know that you're not alone. That's a lie. Depression makes you think that you're alone. Depression makes you think that literally nobody else out of all the billions of people on this planet is going through what you're going through right now. That's a lie. It's not true. So just be gentle and be patient with yourself and know that there are lots of people out there who are going through what you're going through, who have been through and come out on the other side. And one day you'll be one of those people too.
So good. So good.
Yeah, that's so good. I just love you, Alex.
Oh, I love you too. Thank you. Air hug. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Just to see your growth as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, as a woman in business, just the transitions, the shifts that you've gone through. And it's just phenomenal. And I'm so grateful just to see how God is just using you, operating through you to be the most effective for his kingdom here on earth. And being able to do what you do is a part of that. And you're creating an environment where women can feel safe to take care of themselves. Women can feel safe to be healthy and know that health is their portion and it's their inheritance. And so, thank you for making it a priority for you so that you could support other women in doing the same.
Thank you.
Tell everyone how they can find you. Are you on social media, website? Give us that information.
So I am on social media. My website is in progress. But you can find me on social media right now. I'm on Instagram as Coach Alex B 1111. That's my health coaching page. My personal page is Alex Barlowe. And then on Facebook, I'm as Alex Barlowe and Coach Alex as well. So that is the best way to get in touch with me. You can either send me an email, which my email is on both pages, or you can also send me a private message or DM as well.
Excellent. Excellent. So again, that's on Instagram. You are Coach Alex B11, as in your personal page is Alex Barlow.
It's
And then
actually 11, sorry, 1111.
Ooh,
Coach
1111.
B, yep. Coach Alex B 1111. Yep.
Got it. Got it. And then on Facebook, personal page is Alex Barlow. And then your business page is Coach Alex.
Correct.
All
Yes.
right.
Yep, yep.
We got it. We got it. Thank you so much again, Alex, and to everyone that will listen to this and be able to glean from it. We're excited for you because we know that this information that Alex has shared is going to be very beneficial to you as a woman, for you personally, for you in business, and for the success of business partnerships. So we thank you. Ereka and I are honored to come to you every other week with At the Table with Pure to be able to share with other women in business, Kingdom Women in Business, and Women in Business Partnership. Just those things, those strategies, those tools, and being able to have these amazing guests that will come on and share information that is going to be vital to your success. So visit us at purposedforpartnership.com. That's purposedforpartnership.com to know what we have upcoming. We thank you so much for joining us today. God bless and have a wonderful day. We thank you all so much for your support of season 1 of At the Table with Pure, and we're so excited to have ended on such a high note. We look forward to coming back for season 2 on September 13th with more show ideas and awesome guests to be interviewed. Remember, send your comments, and if you have any show ideas that you want to share with us, visit us at purposeforpartnership.com. That's purposeforpartnership.com. We would love to hear from you. You can also email us at admin@pureconnects.com. That's admin@pureconnects.com with any show ideas or any other comments that you want to share related to At the Table with Pure. Thanks again. We look forward to being back for season 2.